Hi guys, and welcome to Thinking of Selling Your Home. Now this free DVD, reveals exactly what every seller must know before they decide to sell their home. Now this is part 4 of a 5-part series. You can watch the full 5-part series at www.assisted-sale.co.uk/free DVD. Now this is part 4. We're going to be covering 10 tricks that we buy houses for cash companies use. Now, number 1 is cash buyer. Now, a lot of these companies, I would say 95% of these companies, to be fair, use this term very, very loosely. They refer to themselves as a cash buyer when in fact they're either selling the property onto one of their clients or on the open market, or they need to obtain a mortgage for themselves, or they need to try and arrange alternative funds to buy the property. So just be careful when they refer to themselves as a cash buyer. Sometimes it's genuine in about 2 to 5% of the companies out there. The other 95% or so, it's not genuine. It's a term used very, very loosely. So just be careful you don't fall into the trap of thinking these guys guaranteed cash buyer, when in fact they're in the same position as other investors that need to arrange finance or need to find a third-party buyer to purchase the property from them. Okay, number 2 is a 24-hour offer. Again, these guys use this term very, very loosely, or give you an offer within 24 hours. Now, from experience, and we've mystery shopped many of the We Buy Houses for Cash companies out there, and that 24-hour offer simply doesn't work. The average time scale we found is about 72 hours for them to physically get a provisional offer across to yourself. So just be careful of the quick offer, 24 hours. Now, number 3 is the maximum offer in percentages. Now, just be careful again when the guys say, they're going to pay 70 to 85% of the market value. You need to find out where they're taking that market value from. Because if they offer 85% of the market value and it's already been is 10% shy of the market value, you're going to find that you're actually only getting about 75% of the market value, depending on where they've taken that figure from. So just be careful there, guys. Now, number 4 is the 90 to 100% offers. Now, it does sound too good to be true, and the only way these companies can achieve the 90 to 100% offers from the market value is another solution, which is a delayed completion. They would effectively agree with you via a contract to buy your property at, or agree a price today, 90 to 100% of the market value, but then they would have a period of time to legally complete on the property, which may be anything from 1 to 5 years. That's a delayed completion. That's the only way these schemes work. So just be careful. It's not a guaranteed sale. It's an option. So just be careful there. You don't get drawn in by the guaranteed sale and then they sell you on this 90 to 100% of the market value with no guarantees. Number 5 is a 28-day completion. Again, this term is used very, very loosely. What you'll find is nearly all of them say a 28-day completion, but out of the ones who can actually complete in 28 days are the big companies that have been in the market for a long time. They buy themselves direct, and sometimes they even struggle for a 28-day completion. So just be careful, you know who you're dealing with. These guys have got the cash. They can do the 24-hour offer. They can give you the figure that you want, and they can complete and prove they can complete within 28 days. Just be careful that the sale doesn't get prolonged and keeps moving forwards, or backwards, should I say. Number 6 is no viewings. These companies will claim they don't need to view the property at all. Now, this is used very, very loosely once again, guys, because what will tend to happen is 95% of these companies will secure the property from you, then they need to match the property to a buyer. Now, most buyers, again, 80-90%, will need to physically see inside the property, just a quick look, okay? So what will tend to happen is they will say these guys are their letting agents, estate agents, a bank surveyor, etc., when actually it's an investor they're trying to sell the property to. So come around and do a viewing claiming to be one of those three guys I just suggested. So just be careful of the little trick they use for the no viewings. Number 7, a guaranteed buyer. Again, they claim to be a guaranteed buyer with a guaranteed sale. Just be careful of the terms to obviously be a guaranteed buyer. What you'll find is, in general, the rule of thumb is if they're guaranteeing to buy the property, they're going to be offering around about 70% of the market value. If they're offering, the more security and more guarantees they offer, is the lower amount of money that you would receive effectively. So just be careful of the terms of the guaranteed buyer or the guaranteed sale in that sense. And is it really a guaranteed sale? Some of the guys will claim it's a guaranteed sale, but just be careful, because lots of those sales do fall out of bed at the last minute, and effectively you could find yourself back to square one. Now, number 8, no deposit. Now, the reason why these We Buy Houses for Cash companies will offer around about 70 to 75% of the market value is because they need a 20 or 25% discount. And what they do with that discount is they use it in a very creative way to pay their mortgage deposit. So they don't have to physically put their hand in their pocket to buy your property. Now, what you need to be aware of, or just think about, is you're not participating in any kind of unethical transaction, borderline mortgage fraud. Just make sure that you're not participating in any of that whatsoever. Number 9, prolong the sale. Now, this is very, very common and typical with the We Buy Houses for Cash companies. They'll give the big song and dance, the no viewings, a guaranteed buyer, the 28-day sale completion, etc., etc. Now, what you'll find is it gets close to that 28 days, and they still have the challenge of raising finance wherever they're getting it from, private investors, mortgage lenders, etc., etc. Now, they will still have the challenge of matching it to a buyer on their database if they're an investment company. And what tends to happen is when it gets close to the 28 days, they'll do whatever they can in their power to manipulate the situation to prolong the sale should they need more time. So just be careful that you're not on a tight time scale and you need that 28-day completion. You've given them everything you want, the big discounts, the 30% off, etc. You're really at their mercy, and then they don't complete in 28 days. Just make sure it's in the contract that they're completing within that period of time. Just make sure if they're offering these terms and this amount, it is subject to that completion. There's nothing wrong with you putting clauses in there to say every day they're late, they need to increase their offer by 1%. Just something for you to think about, just to make sure they're meeting their obligations. Now, number 10 is appearing bigger than they are. Now, as we get into this difficult climate, difficult economy since 2008, you know, for the cost of, say, £250, every man and his dog is now an investor and a We Buy Houses for Cash. They've got a website up and running, and they've got an all-day PA service to answer their phone calls 7 days a week. To make themselves look bigger than they are, they're probably still working, they've got a 9 to 5, and they're just dipping their toe in the water to see if they can pick up a few property deals, because it's big business, big hype at the moment, capitalizing on distressed sellers, which isn't great. So just be careful. The guys you're dealing with are real people. They can physically come and see you. You can speak to them face to face, or a representative. They've got a bit of skin in the game. They've been in the game a while. They're not just brand new, launched a website because they've been on someone's training course and now they're this investment company. Just be careful of that, guys. So do a few checks, you know, look into a bit of their history, find out who they are, you know, just, you know, make sure they've got a landline you can reach them on. You know, just a few things to, and your gut feeling as well. Okay, don't just jump into the deal with a website that you found and you can't actually get through to a real person. Just be a little bit careful, because you're making the biggest decision of your life, really. Selling your property at a reduced figure, so you're giving up on some of your equity for favourable terms to achieve a solution. So just be careful there, guys. You don't want to get caught out in that trap. Okay, you can watch the full you can watch part 5 of the full free DVD series, which reveals what every seller must know before they decide to sell their home. Now, part 5 reveals 5 tips to selling in negative equity. Now, you can watch that DVD at www.assistedsale.co.uk/free DVD. Now, I really do hope you enjoyed this free DVD, which reveals part 4 of what every seller must know before they decide to sell their home. Now, if you want to speak to a real person, guys, who can advise you completely free of charge of the best solution to achieve your desired outcome, obviously with a quick property sale, you simply need to visit us online, www.assisted-sale.co.uk. Speak soon. Assistedsale.co.uk.